Hey everybody, Brian Bauman from Bauman's Farm and Garden, and I'm out in the greenhouses out back right now, and I love walking through here in the afternoon and kind of seeing things grow and what's coming on, and these beauties totally stopped me in my tracks, and I wanted to take a second to talk to you about the dahlias that we grow on the farm, how to plant them at home, the differences in the different types of dahlias that we grow, and how stunningly beautiful they are. Check it out. Jessica, come in here and zoom in on this beautiful Dinnerplate dahlia. Dinnerplate dahlias are one of the ones that we start from tubers, and you'll see a lot of things online about how to grow Dinnerplate dahlias, how to start dahlias from the tuber. The beauty about us starting them for you is you really don't want to plant dahlias until about now. It's about the second week of May. We're just reaching our last frost date. The ground is warmed up enough that you can start planting the tubers. Well, I planted these ones back the first week of April, right at the end of March, so a couple months ago. We've been growing them in the greenhouse, so you can come to the farm right now and get these that are already started. A couple things to notice. We have several different types of Dinnerplate dahlias out here, and I was just checking through here to see if I could find the name on it. Jessica and me will find one here with the name on it and tell you what type this yellow is. When we start these, Dinnerplate dahlias can get super big, super heavy. They need staked and support. When we're growing them in the nursery, if I let them go and just get 3-4 feet tall, it's too tall for these pots and they'll break. So what we do is we put on them what's called a plant growth regulator. And my goal with that, or PGR, is to keep them much more compact to the point where I can grow them in a pot. It does not hurt the dahlia at all. It does not change how its garden performance, other than right now they are much more compact than they're going to be later on. So this dahlia is only 30 inches tall right now. It will get double, triple this size in your garden later this summer. But it's going to be a lot easier to transport. Trying to transport a 3 to 4 foot dahlia in the car is very difficult. But when you transplant these, there's a couple tips. First off, at the base of where the soil is at in the ground level, I usually take off the bottom couple leaves of the plant, and then I will transplant it another 2 to 3 inches deeper above where the soil volume is at right now with the plant. That way, that extra soil around the base of it is going to help keep that dahlia a little more sturdy. Even with planting it a little bit deeper, giving it a little more support, I still like to put stakes in the ground to keep your dahlias supported when you plant them at home. A couple things with stakes. You want to use a really heavy duty stake. A little flimsy stake is not going to hold these up. And you don't want to put the stake too close to the dahlia because you could end up stabbing through the tubers and that's going to damage the dahlia. So I usually tell people do it like in a tripod, 3 different stakes to one, tie it together in the top, and that's going to kind of help support it, or just 3 stakes and tie around the outside of it. Either way will work with it and give your dahlia a little extra support. These beauties are so pretty right now. This is the yellow variety. I'm going to go over, we'll go find, there's some more in here you got to see. Oh my gosh. This particular one is called Babylon Bronze, and it is just starting to open up. This flower is going to end up the size of a dinner plate, and I love this color. And you can see sometimes in here, see that little purple stripe? Each dahlia is going to be a little bit unique. Each flower is going to be a little bit different, and I love to see those little pops of color coming in through here. One of the main pest problems that I have with dahlias is aphids a lot of time. We still get them in here. When I'm watering them, you kind of have to be careful sometimes at home, especially when they get really tall. The water, if you hit it too hard with the watering wand, it'll break them sometimes. But I like a gentle rain on top of them. So I kind of open it up, stand back a little bit, and let the water really fall down. Just having even some soapy water, just the rainwater washing them off really helps kind of keep the aphids at bay with your dahlias. You can use some neem oil and some other horticultural oils that will help kind of smother the aphids as well, which is a great way to keep the aphids down on your dahlias. All right, we saw Babylon Bronze. Check out Babylon Purple. So beautiful, just starting to open up. You can kind of see it's bigger than my hand already and it's still unfurling. This beauty is going to be gigantic and big and beautiful. If you're growing dahlias for cut flowers, the Babylon purple, about the Dinnerplate dahlias that we have, they don't have the best vase life. It's best to pick them a little bit further along than this. You can see this particular one, it needs to open up and get a little bit more color before you pick it, but they just don't have the best base life, which is why we grow some other varieties as well that I want to show you. Jessica and me just had to run over because literally as we were doing this video, like dahlias were disappearing. They were taking them up to retail as fast as they open up. It's one of the beauties about Bauman Farms is we're growing all of this stuff. So, and it's right, the retail area is just on the other side of the greenhouses we're at right now. So when you come out to the farm, we have a lot of our stock already on site. So if we run out, we just go get you some more. It's the beauty of going to a grower retailer. But check it out. This is a beautiful ball or pom-pom type dahlia. The thing about these particular ones is that they have some of the best vase life out of any of the different types of dahlias. They hold up a lot longer in a vase. They're really great to grow for a cut flower. This particular one is called Peaches and Cream. It's really beautiful because you get, as it goes to the center of the flower, you get more of the peach, almost purpley tones, and then as it opens up, the outside gets that nice cream effect to each of the petals. Such a pretty variety. Here's a totally different type of dahlia. Steals my heart, just like those bigger ones. Just gonna zoom in and see this beautiful flower. This is what we call a bedding dahlia. So they're not really for cut flowers, they're just for you to enjoy. I use mine in containers, I plant them in flower beds. These babies bloom non-stop all summer long. Love them. They're not going to get much taller. I have not used any plant growth regulators on these. The height that you see on them is what you get, which is why I mean, there is literally over 20 buds on this one little plant. This is a dark leaf variety. This one in particular is called Happy Days Fuchsia Halo. We grow a number of different ones in this series, and the flower power, the contrast between the darker foliage and the bright blossoms is amazing. Now, these still will form a tuber like the Dinnerplate or the pom-pom varieties. The tubers are much smaller, obviously. You could dig them up. I've had it come back sometimes. I just call them an annual, and if they come back, great. If they don't come back, I was planning on that anyway. A couple things to remember with dahlias. They don't like a lot of fertilizer. You don't need to use a lot of nitrogen like other annuals, like petunias and some of the other plants that you need to fertilize all the time. Dahlias don't need a lot of that, because what happens when you use too much fertilizer is you end up with a lot of foliage and not a lot of flower power. So I still fertilize them. I like to use a time release with them so that I don't use my water soluble like I do with some of our other annuals. Just a little bit of fertilizer over time seems to go a long ways. And we have a really great selection of these dark leaf dahlias. This is the first one that's starting to bloom, but I want to show you a couple other varieties. Here's another one, and it is just starting to open. This is another one in the Happy Days series called Cherry Red, and I'll have Jessica throw up a picture of it in full bloom. It's so pretty. It's one of the newer colors in the series, and it might be hard for you to tell, but the foliage on this one is more of a green. It's not quite as dark as the other one we were just showing. And one thing with dark leaf dahlias that I found is the more sun, or darker black the foliage, less light, more green the foliage is. And these babies really want as much sun as possible. They'll do okay in partial shade sun area. Afternoon sun would be best. They could survive without morning sun, but the more sun, the better. Now, if you can kind of see this, it's kind of, I mean, it's pretty sturdy, it's nice. But even with this particular variety, I'll take it and take off some of these bottom leaves, and I'll plant it a little bit deeper just so that it gets a little sturdier when I plant it in the ground. I'm so bummed that these aren't blooming yet. But this is a brand new dark leaf dahlia. And I was just laughing with Jessica because I have no idea how to pronounce it. I'll have her throw the name on there. It's like Dahlia Gria. It's a new variety from Syngenta, and this particular one is called Apricot Tricolor. The blossom on it, I saw it at trials last year, just blew me away, and you can see they're loaded with buds. I can't wait. It seems like it takes forever. As soon as I see buds on dahlias out here, I'm checking them every day to see how fast they're opening. And it takes a little while. Even though we've got nice big buds, it'll still be another week before it shows any color. It just takes that long for a dahlia to open. I'm excited for these are the new dahlias from Proven Winners. They're just coming along. And like I said, even with these tight buds, it'll be another week before they start to bloom. This particular one is called Vibrant Violet. The name of the series is Virtuoso. One of the things when you're dealing, this is another gardening bed type hydrangea bedding plant. A lot of those, the blossoms don't stand up enough on top of the foliage. This new series from Proven Winners does a great job of standing up on top of the foliage, has really nice big full flowers that they even have long enough stem that you could use them as a cut flower in a shorter vase. Really good vase life, nice series. I mean, this plant is going to be just loaded with buds. I haven't used any growth regulators on it. You can see how nice and tight and full it's going to be. Again, it's going to want full sun. This Vibrant Violet is one of my favorite colors, but we also have another one that's called Pinkerific. I'll have Jessica throw a photo up there because it is, I'm not a pink person, as you know, but darn all these really cool pink flowers. I couldn't help it. I told Jessica that this video was going to be about dahlias, and we're out walking around, and I can't help it. Like, look at these flowers. They're so pretty. And this is a gazania. I didn't really know a lot about gazanias. I thought, I mean, they're cool flowers, but especially on the Oregon coast, these are a must-have. And even in the throughout the Northwest, because they're really deer resistant. The deer are going to try these, but they don't like them. And if you were looking for a bedding plant to put in your yard that the deer are not going to mow over, such a great plant. On the Oregon coast, some milder areas, these come back just fine year after year, which is fantastic. I would not plan on this coming back in the Willamette Valley, even, you know, above 500 feet. I think the water gets them more than the temperature does, but these babies bloom all summer long. You will kind of see this one right here, how the flower petals are kind of closed a little bit. In the shade or even on a really cloudy day, they close up. You don't see them. You really need the sun to just pop these babies open, but they are loaded with buds. They'll bloom nonstop all summer. They work great in containers. They work great in the ground. What a really good one. This particular one is called Yellow Flame. We have another one in stock right now that has more of gray foliage to it that's really pretty as well. But for a great plant that's deer resistant, this is something you want to put on your list. I finally found my planting of Pinkerific. I have to go looking for it because I knew it was out here. As you can see, it's a little small right now, but don't you worry. I'm going to be out here all the time checking on them, seeing how they're going, and keeping you up to date on what's happening at the farm. So stay tuned, subscribe, follow us on YouTube because I have such a good time showing you all these really cool plants that are out in our nursery, and I love sharing them with all of you.